You know, when I first started playing around with crypto, I didn't have thousands of dollars to throw in like those flashy influencers you see online. I had $10, literally, $10 sitting in my wallet that couldn't even buy a good pizza. And I thought, what if I try something absolutely stupid? What if I try to turn this $10 into something that actually makes sense in crypto? Now, obviously, I wasn't expecting to become a millionaire overnight. I just wanted to see if there's a real way to make small money work smart. And that's where this little $10 experiment turned into one of the most valuable lessons of my crypto journey. Because here's what I learned. In crypto, it's never about how much you start with. It's about where and how you move it. When I started, I didn't jump into Bitcoin or Ethereum like everyone else screaming on Twitter. No, I wanted something that could actually multiply small capital. So I went deeper. I looked for behavior patterns, the hidden strategies big firms and insiders use that retail investors never notice. And then, one night, scrolling through on-chain data, I saw something weird. A pattern that didn't make sense until it did. I noticed certain wallets buying into low-cap coins right after liquidity injections. Not before, not long after, but exactly after a particular liquidity event. It was almost like they were waiting for the market makers to open the gates before sneaking in with sniper precision. And the craziest part, those coins would usually pump 30, 50, even 200% within days. That's when it hit me. This wasn't random. This was a system. So I decided to copy it, but my way, with just $10. I picked one low-cap project with a solid foundation, good tokenomics, and some actual developer movement. I tracked its liquidity pools, watched its volume, and waited for that exact liquidity spike moment that those whale wallets had reacted to. When it happened, I didn't hesitate. I dropped in my $10, split across 2 small entries, and then I waited. The first day? Nothing. The second day? Still flat. But the third day, the price jumped. Not a little. I saw a 68% move in less than 24 hours. I couldn't believe it. My $10 became $16.80. Small, yeah. But the point wasn't the amount. It was the system worked. I thought, maybe it's just luck. So I repeated it. Again. And again. 7 experiments later, I had over $140 starting from that same $10. No leverage, no crazy meme coins, just understanding how the big players move money. And here's the real trick that nobody tells you. The smartest crypto investors don't trade coins. They trade timing. Because in crypto, timing is the only leverage that can't get liquidated. Let me explain. Most retail traders buy emotionally. They see a coin pumping on Twitter or Reddit and jump in at the peak. Meanwhile, whales have already positioned themselves days earlier during quiet liquidity buildups. The boring moments nobody cares about. So, when I learned to spot those boring phases, the flat, no-volume zones where liquidity quietly increases, I realized that's where the smart money hides. That's where you should hide too. And this became my hidden $10 strategy. I started calling it the invisible timing play. It's simple. Step 1. Pick projects that actually have liquidity, not dead coins. Step 2. Watch their daily on-chain flows using free trackers like DEX Tools or Gecko Terminal. Step 3. Wait for a sudden increase in liquidity, but no price movement. Step 4. Enter small. Step 5. Exit when retail hype arrives. That's it. It sounds simple, but it's scary how effective it is. Because this is literally how crypto market makers accumulate positions without being noticed. And the reason this $10 system works so well for beginners? Because it forces you to think like a bank. not a gambler. See, when you've only got $10, every decision has to matter. You can't afford to chase hype. You have to be precise, patient, and strategic, which, ironically, is exactly how big money plays. And I'll tell you what shocked me the most. Once you master this mindset, even small capital starts feeling powerful. You begin to realize it's not the size of your wallet, it's the sharpness of your entry. That's why I always say, most people lose in crypto because they trade attention, not data. They chase what's trending instead of tracking what's building. And this is where the big players win every single time. They move before anyone else even notices the opportunity exists. So, if you're watching this and you've got $10 lying around, you're not broke. You're early. Because if you can learn how to make $10 move smartly, scaling to $100 or $1,000 becomes mechanical. When I started documenting this experiment, people laughed. They thought it was a joke. $10? You can't even buy gas with that. But here's what they didn't understand. I wasn't trying to make money. I was trying to decode how money moves. And that's what changed everything. Soon, I wasn't chasing coins anymore. I was chasing patterns, and patterns are universal. Once you can recognize them, you can apply them anywhere. DeFi, NFTs, launchpads, even Bitcoin cycles. Here's the crazy part. This same $10 pattern helped me predict one of the biggest microcap rallies I've ever seen. I noticed liquidity buildups across 3 tokens that nobody was talking about, all moving in sync. Within 2 weeks, those 3 coins did 6 times, 9 times, and 11 times. Now, did I catch all of it? Of course not. I took my profits way earlier. But that wasn't the point. The point was understanding the rhythm. Crypto isn't about luck, it's about rhythm. When you learn that rhythm, when you feel how liquidity moves before price does, you stop gambling and start strategizing. That's why this $10 lesson became one of the biggest turning points in my crypto journey. It taught me that the best opportunities in crypto are invisible to people who are only looking for hype. They're visible only to those who study behavior. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, this sounds smart, but how do I actually find those liquidity moments? Here's how I do it, step by step. Every night, I open Gecko Terminal and filter for tokens under $20 million market cap. Then I check which ones had a liquidity increase without a matching price increase. That's your first signal. Then I cross-check the project's recent activity. Did they announce an update, a dev tweet, a quiet audit, or a testnet move? If yes, that's my green light. After that, I set 2 buy zones, one right below current price, one slightly above, because smart money doesn't go all in. They ladder in. Then, I wait. Most people hate waiting. But that's where the money hides. In boredom. Because when you wait in silence while others chase noise, your entry becomes surgical. And that's the game. Now, fast forward to today, that same mindset has completely changed how I view the market. I no longer care about the next meme pump or influencer coin. I care about structure, flow, and liquidity shifts. That's what the $10 taught me. Patience and pattern recognition are worth more than capital. If you gave me $10, I could find 5 smart entries that have 10 times higher probability than someone throwing $1,000 at random hype. And that's the beauty of this strategy. It's not about getting rich quick. It's about getting smart permanently. Because once you learn to move like the big firms do, your money starts working on rhythm, not emotion. So yeah, that's how my little $10 crypto experiment ended up teaching me one of the most powerful investment frameworks I've ever used. It didn't just make me profit, it changed the way I think. And if you want to try it, don't worry about big numbers. Start small, study liquidity, and move silent. Crypto rewards the quiet observer, not the loud chaser. And that's why, even today, I still call it the hidden $10 strategy, because it's invisible to most, but unstoppable for those who understand it. Now, if you found this valuable, you're going to love what I'm dropping next. I'm building a full breakdown of this liquidity method with real on-chain examples, and it's coming soon right here on CryptoLytix. So hit that follow, and remember, it's not about timing the market, it's about understanding it.